Hi there, I'm Rita Bearcat and welcome if you are just joining for the first time. This is day 16 of 30 days of art challenges. I'm working in my largest journal. This is an 8.5 by 11 canvas journal that I have, and we have this in the shop. I had added these little file pages to it, and so I'm taking that out so that I can work with it a little bit closer in adding that to my page. Now, if you're just joining us and you don't know about the 30 art challenges, I sent these out to my subscribers, and if you're interested in receiving those, I will put the link down below and you can subscribe and get those links directly in your inbox. I'm super excited about this page because it was, this is one of those pages that if you've watched any of my videos or if you've watched me on Mixed Media Monday, I oftentimes will tell you, don't waste your paint and wiping it on a towel or just rinsing off that paint when you're working on a project, but use a place in your art journal and wipe off that paint there. So that's that silver that you see there. And so the silver behind it is an acrylic paint, and then the paint that I'm using today is a watercolor on top of it. So even though I'm painting on top of the silver, you're still going to see that silver underneath, which I think would be kind of cool in the end. So this little file folder is also in the shop. It comes like in groups of 3, and I had attached several of these into my art journal because I thought they would be fun and just a way to have a funky little page sticking out. And so it's going to be really easy. Once this is done, I can just stick it back in my journal. Especially when the journal starts to get really thick because we've put so many things in it. It makes it nice to be able to take it out and work on it like this. So I'm just using some different colors, some different watercolors, blends of blues and purples, which happen to be my favorite colors there. So I'm using a little bit of water and just kind of blending in any spaces that are left uncovered. Now, all of these pieces in the journal and in the file folders and the ATCs and all the different things that we have in the shop, they are fully lined, and they have 2 pieces of fabric that are sewn together with the lining on the inside. So they don't bleed through to the other side, which is really nice when you're working in your art journal, that it's not going to bleed through. And I wanted to lift some of this color, so I'm just using a dry paper towel. And it just creates some fun effects. So now that it's completely dry, I wanted to add a place where I can add a little bit of journaling. So I'm using a little gesso, and I have to make sure that that's totally dry before I do anything else. So excuse the my little drying techniques here. So I ended up doing this with a small paintbrush and doing with the paint. Sometimes I use a marker, sometimes I write it ahead of time. This time I didn't, I just kind of freehanded it and reminded myself of why I should draw it out first, always. Because I ended up doing a lot of fixing. And so what happens is then, at least I'm working with watercolor number 1, and number 2, we're working on top of gesso. So I can just add a little bit more gesso and just kind of fix some areas there and just kind of work with it. So if I make a mistake, you know, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm not going to block out the whole entire thing or do the entire thing over, but I am going to try to find some ways to fix it. And gesso is always a really good one to use. Now the paint was wet, so it kind of blended with the background paint, which is okay because it created a little box there for that word. And so you'll see that I've made a lot of corrections and a lot of going back and forth. This would have been better if I would have written it ahead of time and put it on there. But, you know, sometimes you just want to wing it. Sometimes you just want to play. Now, the paint that I'm using in the center is a metallic paint, and it's matching the background pages. That's the color on the background pages that this particular file folder will end up on. So it's going to tie it all together. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to tie it into the background, and so it doesn't feel like it's disjointed or like it should be there, but it was a planned part of the book. So I did a lot of gessoing, a lot of fixing, a lot of reworking. Take my tip and write it down first. Write it in pencil first and then do it. So these art challenges I sent to my subscribers, I'm doing them in my art journal. That's what I decided, and I decided to do them here on YouTube. But if you are interested in them, you can subscribe and you can get them in your inbox, and you don't have to put them on YouTube. You can do them however you like. We do have a group on Facebook called Mixed Media Projects with Rita Bearcat, and a lot of my subscribers have been putting their art challenges in there, and they look fantastic. Just really fun ideas for all the different challenges. So right now I'm using a Sakura pen, which has permanent ink in it. And even after this video is over, I did end up adding a little bit more doodling, which you'll see in the finished picture at the end of this video. So here we are. We're going to pin it back into my art journal. I think it looks pretty good on there. I'm going to end up doing a little bit more doodling, but overall, I'm good with it. See, there's the extra doodling, and there you go, piece of cake. If you like this video, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget about the link below to sign up for those art challenges, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.